Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Jason Ritter about season 2 of Raising Dion dropping on Netflix February 1st. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. This is exciting.
It's so exciting. Has it hit you that season 2 is finally coming out?
I'm so excited. I started to see the trailers and I started getting really excited for everyone to see it.
There's so much happening. Yeah, but there's so much happening in this show, Jason. Is that evident when you kind of sign on to a project that it has kind of these genre-bending moments and there's so much happening? Do you notice that when you sign on for a project like this?
Oh yeah, I mean, even in reading the scripts from the first season and in this season, you know, you get the sense like every episode ends with a sort of moment of like, oh wow, what's going to happen next? And and it just builds on itself and builds and builds. And I've always loved sort of heightened genre superhero movies, TV shows and stuff like that. So it was super fun to sign on, especially as this complicated guy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting too, because, you know, the superhero component is definitely there. It's front and center 100%. When I kind of look at it though, a little bit with this show, Jason, it's a tale of two shows a little bit. For one thing, it's about superhero culture and everything going on and powers. But then the big thing I take away from it is family. Like, yeah. Do you know what I mean by that? A little bit tale of two shows, family, superheroes.
For sure. I think that's one of the things that I love about it the most is it's sort of grounded in this mother-son sort of nuclear family thing. And you know, for all that Dion is wanting to learn about his powers and fight crime and do all these things, his mom's saying, you have bedtime at this time and you're going to get in trouble, you know? And I really love that dynamic. And I think there's an element as a parent when you're trying to put rules in place and usher your child into this world, that there is a little element of like, this is out of my control. This is insane. They're doing things, their mind is going to places that I don't necessarily have the equipment to respond to. And every parent is just doing their best. And I love that, you know, even in this show, there's that real element of just, you know, wanting to do the best by your son.
I totally agree. It's so amazing too. Geek culture, comic book culture, nerd culture. I mean, for me growing up, you know, I would always get like teased if I was like reading a comic book or, you know, wearing a Spider-Man shirt or something. Like I always get teased. Now that's not the case. It's huge. It's exploded. When did you notice that kind of shift where like geek culture, nerd culture, it's like you're a cool kid in school wearing like reading a comic book now.
Yeah, no, it's true. I really started to notice it. I mean, I think I was about 15 in like 1995 when I went to my first Comic-Con, and it was so exciting. My friend it wasn't something that I had heard about. My friend just was like, oh, you know, we're going, my family's going, do you want to come with me? And it like blew my mind. And I started, I can't remember exactly when it was, but there was definitely a shift where like, it wasn't, you know where
I'm coming from.
Yeah. Like this is not the side thing that you're like, you know, I didn't necessarily go back to school and go, I went to Comic-Con, everybody. It's like my secret, you know.
But like it's huge now. It's like the real deal now.
And it's pretty amazing. And I remember the first time that I went to like Comic-Con in the way that it feels now, and everybody's dressed up in their characters, and it kind of felt for a moment like a world without like bullies. Or something like this. It's like no one's gonna make fun of you for being passionate, for liking what you like. People are just gonna celebrate each other, and like it was really exciting to see that shift happen.
And I think your character in Raising Dion is kind of that advocate of like, no, like superheroes are cool, Dion, let's go, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's definitely not shy of that world, but I think also he, you know, being around the same age as I am, probably went through the same stage that you were talking about of being made fun of, and I think that there's probably an element of him and of me and of a lot of people that's like, for us, like, oh geez, it's like, oh now, okay, oh now it's cool, like, there's a little element of ownership that I don't know necessarily that he has the right to say, or anybody has the right to say, but this idea that well, now it's cool, but I was there first, I think is an element that's in Pat somewhere deep down.
Jason Ritter is a storyteller. That's what you do. Whether people write, direct, act, you're storytellers. What excites you about storytelling, Jason?
I think the thing that excites me about storytelling the most is that it's sort of a roundabout way of starting conversations about things. And I think that's one of the things that I like the most is, sometimes the most interesting conversations I've had have been after I've seen something and I've liked it, or my friend hasn't liked it, or whatever, and we've sort of hashed it out and talked about the underlying themes. And I just think, storytelling is a nice way to bring some conversations in without anything feeling ever like a lecture. It's like a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down sometimes. It's just fun. It's a nice way to escape our day-to-day world.
Absolutely. Season 2 of Raising Dion is dropping February 1st, Jason. And, a lot of people probably ask you, or like online, like, how could you describe the show? There's so much happening, you know what I mean? For me, I'm just going to make it simple. It's so cool, right? Isn't it? They look so cool, right?
It looks so cool. I mean, this season, they really stepped it up a notch with all the visual effects, and there's like the new bad, I don't know if to say guys, but new bad energy, and there's just so many beautiful things in the show now. It really does feel like, 2.0 Raising Dion.
The trailer like drops and everyone's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Even I was like, oh my gosh, I've seen the whole show and I remember all those moments. They're all in there. And I was like, oh, this is so exciting. I can't wait.
And like the obvious answer is questions, you hope they enjoy it. But like diving deep into it, I just wanted to pick your brain about this a little bit. I mean, what are you hoping they get out of it specifically takeaway wise when they watch Raising Dion, Jason?
Gosh, I hope, I think there's so many different elements in the show that there are so many things that for different people, wherever you sort of come from in your life, I feel like there's something that may speak to you or that has nothing to do with you in your life. And you go, oh, I never thought about it that way before.
Yeah.
But I think at the core of it is the thing of family. I also think there's themes of peer pressure throughout all this thing. And, as you get older and you get more conscious about what your peers think of you and how much you are willing to sort of give up of yourself to appease other people in your peer group. And I just think, and then there's just lots of really fun, exciting, cool visual effects. But the heart is the most important thing, I think.
The heart, absolutely. And, it's dropping on Netflix worldwide February 1st. I mean, one of the coolest things about content and Netflix specifically is just instantly, people from all around the world are going to be able to watch your show. I mean, how special is that component to it?
That's huge. It's hard to wrap my mind around. I mean, that's one of the kind of amazing things about Netflix is the worldwide reach and, looking at tweets in different languages and then, being able to just hit translate and figure out. But that there's this sort of, it's like a worldwide event is happening. People can all see it at the same time. And it's connecting in a nice way. It's not like, oh, well, it's coming out in this country first, and then it will come out in your country, maybe, in a year or something. It's like everyone can watch it at the same time and talk about it.
And I'm so excited for everyone to be able to see it. Jason, thank you so much for coming on Pop Alternative and chatting about season 2 of Raising Dion on February 1st on Netflix. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on Pop Alternative. It's awesome. It's awesome to be here. It's nice to meet you.
Absolutely. All the best. And everyone's going to be able to see it. Raising Dion season 2 on Netflix, February 1st. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Pop Alternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Pop Alternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Pop Alternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.